Hi friends, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. We are your home for Caribbean weather. It's great to see you on this Tuesday. If you missed yesterday's video, yes, we are back after taking a break for a few months to completely revamp the channel for you. Thank you for all of the kind comments that we got in yesterday's video. Really excited to roll out the new Meteo Mundo and all of the new information that we're going to be bringing you during these daily forecast videos and when we go live at times of tropical storms and hurricanes. I told you for this first week of videos, I'd continue to go over the new information that you're going to see on your screen. Even if you've been watching the channel for a past couple of years, this is all completely new, but this is all for you. We call the information on the screen the Information Hub. It's designed for easy access for all of the weather information that you're going to need to make informed decisions on a daily basis. On the left-hand side of your screen, those are going to be the big weather headlines that I'm going to be covering during these daily videos. Kind of consider it to be a rundown of the video, and I'll be moving those headlines as we go along. The bottom of your screen, that is our weather ticker. All of the watches, warnings, advisories, weather statements that I have put together across the Caribbean and the Bahamas as of the recording of this video are going to be on that ticker. Basically any impactful weather. It could be rip current statements, gale warnings, severe weather watches and warnings, flood issues for all of the countries across their area. That'll be scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Then on the bottom left, that's going to be the 5-day forecast for over 45 cities across the Caribbean and the Bahamas. You're going to get your daily sky condition, your daily high in both Fahrenheit and Celsius, and the daily chance for rain. And about halfway through the video, that's going to disappear and your marine forecast is going to come up for over 25 major harbors, cruise ports, and fishing area interests throughout our area. You're going to get the maximum wave heights and the direction of those wave and swells, and then your tidal information over the next 2 days. Really significant information, including the updated daily water temperatures as well. Again, all of this is designed for you to readily have access to the information that you need. So that's why we're doing it in this way, and we hope you enjoy it. Now, speaking of what I've been talking about, obviously, I've been welcoming you to the new Meteo Mundo. One of the other big things is we're now broadcasting in a higher quality, that 4K resolution. So if you do have a television or a device that can watch videos in that high resolution, you can go ahead and crank it up now. I don't know if this face is ready for 4K, but that's what we're broadcasting in. And by the way, you know, yesterday's video is almost kind of like riding a bike, having to get used to doing it again after a couple of months and playing with all the new technology that we have here. But again, hopefully this is a great experience for you guys as we move along. Love to hear from you in the comments section below. Let me know what you're thinking about. You know, the first big thing I really want to talk about today, we're going to get into the winds here coming up in just a second, but I actually want to talk about what's going on with some thunderstorms that continue across portions of the Bahamas that have been slowly working their way off to the south a little bit more today. We had that severe weather watch up in the northern Bahamas yesterday. The front is beginning to settle right now in the central Bahamas, where we've actually had some significant lightning storms earlier on this Tuesday for the southern sides of Eleuthera, especially Cat Island, Rum Cay, on over towards the Long Island area, Georgetown, Clarencetown, and the Acklands, Exuma in that. Overcast skies. The thunderstorms are beginning to break apart right now, but we had some significant rain earlier in the day. The front extends back into central and western Cuba, where additional thunderstorms will redevelop this afternoon from Cienfuegos on over towards Havana. The front is weakening back off towards the west. There could be a couple of thunderstorms associated with the front. Cancun, Cozumel, maybe as far south as Tulum, but not as significant as what we saw on our Monday. If we follow the front back up towards Bermuda right now, skies are beginning to clear because the front has been able to work its way across the region after a little bit quieter day today across Bermuda. I do expect there to be extra showers and storms returning as yet another cold front begins to move into the area. Now, let's get back to those winds that I was talking to you guys about, right? So the big story now is across the area, winds are beginning to pick up, and that's also going to be impacting marine interest over the next couple of days. I've put the wind gusts in miles an hour for you here on the screen, and a couple of spots I want to show you, especially the southern Caribbean right now. Port of Spain, Trinidad had a 25-mile-an-hour wind gust a little bit earlier on this Tuesday, and then you can follow that fresh breeze on over to places like Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. All those islands, the ABC Islands, have had wind gusts of over 30 miles an hour. In Oranjestad today, nearly a 40-mile-an-hour breeze. You'll see at the bottom of your screen, actually scrolling right now, there is that marine advisory for Aruba. There is also a large wave and strong wind advisory for the southern coastline of Jamaica for the inland waters, including Morant and Pedro Banks. We're likely to see some waves there up to 2 meters. Haven't picked up a lot of fresh winds inland today, but the winds offshore are beginning to pick up. So, that's going to be a big story. We continue to see some fresher winds across Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, San Juan, Ponce, St. Croix, St. Thomas, Fajardo, 20 to 25-mile-an-hour winds. St. Bart's again back up to around 30. Shallow moisture in play here. It's only spelling a couple of quick passing showers in this area, but again, the winds, they're going to be a little bit fresh from time to time. One of the other big stories I got to tell you about is the heat. I want to show the temperatures for you guys on the screen right now. Where we haven't had the fresher breezes, and especially off towards the west, it's getting downright hot. There's an excessive heat advisory right now for the inland sides of Belize, including the San Ignacio area, expecting daytime highs there to be at or above 97 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you live in inland Belize, please make sure that you stay aware of the heat. Also expecting there to be some extremely hot conditions in the Mérida area, up towards the peninsula of the Yucatan and Panama, Mexico. But again, 97, 99 degrees now, but the daytime highs there are likely to be above 100 degrees even this afternoon, and especially as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Elsewhere across the area right now, I do expect us to see some scattered showers continuing. Look, there's going to be some locally heavy rainfall I want to get into from time to time, but it's still going to be fairly shallow. The front itself moving through the southern Bahamas is likely to continue to diminish as we move over the next couple of days. It'll spell a couple of showers for the Acklins and Mayaguana and Turks and Caicos towards Grand Turk, but it's not going to be as prominent as what the rest of the Bahamas have seen. Otherwise, it will be our easterlies that will continue to drive into the area. That should give us the better chance for a couple of showers and storms across the region. But, the rain chance overall is not going to be very significant. If I bring on the high-resolution visible satellite imagery, it'll be a little bit clearer for you guys to see that streaks of moisture embedded within that across the Antilles for today. It's going to be just a little bit of Saharan dust. If we're going to catch a slightly better chance for some rain today, it's going to be down towards Trinidad, Tobago, but it's still more isolated than anything. I can't rule out a heavier passing shower. And you can even see on that visible satellite imagery a little bit of haze. Grenada trying to get into some relatively cloudy skies. Scattered showers are possible for SVG and Barbados, but again, many dry hours and locations. You can clearly see the easterlies rolling across Martinique and Dominica for today as well under partly cloudy skies. Few passing showers up towards Antigua, Barbuda for today. We had a little bit of extra cloud coverage earlier this morning. St. Kitts and Nevis, Saba, St. Eustatius, St. Bart's, Anguilla. That's now trying to sneak into the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, where Nagua has had a little bit better cloud coverage today. Rotown, Tortola, a couple of isolated showers there. The situation in Puerto Rico is that we've been a mainly dry forecast, but later today, the northwest sides of the islands, and you're going to see that statement here on our weather impact scrolling across the ticker, we could get a little bit of some heavier rain from the Arecibo area towards Aguadilla. So the northwest coastline, probably not as far east as San Juan for today, but with the southeasterlies coming in, it's going to take some of that moisture, lift it up over the island, and then dump it on the northwest side as it continues to move up to the north and to the west. This could also spell additional showers today, and the best chance for rain for the Hispaniola area is going to be Punta Cana, back down towards La Romana and the Santo Domingo areas here. Lacai on the peninsula of Haiti should get a few showers. I think Port-au-Prince, Santiago de los Caballeros, Puerto Plata will be on the drier side for today. Back over to Jamaica. Again, building cloud coverage across the island, mainly in interior sections. Can't rule out a shower here, but coastline mainly dry. A couple of showers in some of the higher, hillier terrain, especially as we drive west. Maybe a shower or two towards Montego and Negril later today, but again, chances aren't high. Trying to build in a couple of storms right now over the Cayman Islands. It's limited. The moisture's not high, but there are a couple of deeper clouds building over a little Cayman, and the opportunity for a couple of showers to be developing through that. And I do expect places like Roatan, Utila, Guanaja to mainly dry. We could use a couple of showers here along the coastline of Belize and Guatemala to cool things down, an area that we're still going to have deep convection, the convergent zone over Costa Rica and Panama, likely to spell some fairly significant showers across that area again as we go over the next couple of days. Friends, you can email me if you'd like to. Give me the latest in your area. You want to give me a picture or a video. Simplest way to do that is going to be mymeteomundo@gmail.com. If you do send in a video, please limit it to 20 seconds. Of course, include your name and where that picture or video is from. I'd love to show you those in our daily forecast videos. All right, let's get into what's going to be happening here. First of all, it's early May, but you see two tropical waves on the board. We're going to talk about the one that's going to be moving into the Eastern Caribbean coming up, and a secondary one has developed off of the West African coast. So, again, pretty interesting that even just for this time of the year, we're already getting back into those two waves. So let me show you those. And while I'm here, of course, I got to bring on these talking points, right? And I got to switch it to the tropical waves. I mean, if I'm going to be talking about it, I got to highlight it for you guys. So let's get into these waves. Now, this time of the year, again, for our area, relatively insignificant, but a little bit more tropical moisture. This is why I expect a slightly better chance, for portions of the southern Lesser Antilles as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's not going to be a big bump. A lot of that moisture will be even lower south in latitude, but you can see that streaking through. Now, tropical waves this time of the year, they fight a lot of drier air, so they just don't have a lot of abundance, especially on the northern side. If there's going to be more rain associated with them, that's what's going to be driving into South America. If we follow the secondary front in our intertropical convergence zone all the way back to the west coast of Africa, this is where the next wave is. And again, we have some streaks of clouds here with that ITCZ and the monsoon trough. But as far as real development with this, no. And the air to the north of that is actually much drier. Actually, I want to show you right now what I mean. I'm going to switch over to our water vapor product here. So let me bring that up in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and you'll clearly see the delineation. The green is your moisture-laden air. The red is all the drier air. So the wave itself on the northern side is still fighting a lot of drier air. It's going to improve the moisture content into Barbados and SVG and Grenada and TNT and Nueva Esparta, but not to a high degree. Relatively speaking, we're still going to be enveloped in what's going to be relatively dry conditions across the area as far as any deep tropical moisture goes. Okay, so let's get into what's next across the area. And I'm going to start with that by looking at the rain chance across your area. The next thing I want to do, since I'm talking about the forecast here, is it's time now to switch over. Whoops, sorry about that. Hitting the wrong button. Stay with me. I want to switch over now to the marine forecast for you guys. So the marine forecast is going to pop up. Again, this is going to be your 2-day marine forecast for over 25 major ports, harbors, fishing areas. Get all that interest. What you're going to notice in most areas, not everywhere, but most areas, is that the forecast for Wednesday is going to be slightly more rough and elevated across a lot of the area because winds are going to continue to freshen up, especially through portions of the Caribbean. So let me show you right now how this is going to break down for our rain. And while I'm here, I haven't said it yet, but if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button for me, I'd appreciate it. Appreciate all of our subscribers and our members. If you haven't subscribed, click that button right now as well. If you want these daily forecasts across the Caribbean and the Bahamas, we are back. Hopefully we're back better than ever, and I appreciate you guys and all of your support. So what's next across the area? Let's take a look at it. Expect there to be a few showers coming along with the improved rain, with the improved winds. Now look, it's not going to be deep moisture. The scattered showers are going to be somewhat limited, but for places like Kingston and Port Moore and Spanish Town and Negril and Montego Bay on Jamaica, rain chance should improve slightly over the next couple of days, hopefully to break the heat a little bit here. I'm talking about a 30 to maybe 40% chance at best in most areas. It's not going to surprise me if the large wave and strong wind advisory for the southern nearshore waters continues at least into Wednesday, because I think the winds are going to be just as fresh tomorrow as that they were for today. The rain is still going to be quite heavy across portions of Panama where there's still a flooding issue. The opportunity for a couple of showers to creep into Costa Rica as well. You get north into Nicaragua and Honduras, and the moisture is just more limited, and it's much more localized than anything else. So many dry hours and locations, San Pedro Sula and Roatan. Not expecting a lot of showers for Belize City. That would be where the rain would be in Belize, with the heat being the big story in inland areas. Cancun, Cozumel looks pretty good. Less than a 20% chance for rain as we go through the afternoon hours over the next few days. Some of the areas that have been wetter will be drying out. Freeport, Lucaya, Nassau, New Providence, all the way into the central Bahamas. Drier air behind that front, so not as much rain the next couple of days. The rain chance drifts a little bit farther south, southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, portions of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, even on the northern coastline, we get a slightly better chance for a couple of showers over the next few days. And then I expect there to just continue to be the opportunity on a daily basis for a few showers to develop across Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands as the easterlies continue. Again, it's going to kick up the seas from time to time. Showers will be fast moving. So generally speaking, when we look at the rainfall totals in these areas, they're just not going to be very significant. It's just not time of that year yet. And again, the brisk winds will help move the showers along pretty quickly. So this is an opportunity in Antigua and Barbuda where you could get a few passing showers in a day, and it still doesn't add up to more than maybe 10 millimeters of rain or a couple of hundredths of an inch of rain at best. From Anguilla back down to St. Bart's and Ceiba, St. Kitts and Nevis, same situation. Now, these areas of the Lesser Antilles, better chance for rain compared to the south, about as far south as Guadalupe and Dominica. Overall, when you get back down towards Martinique and St. Lucia, this is one a little bit of drier spots. And then the question ends up being that tropical wave that's south of TNT and Barbados and Grenada and SVG. Does it lift a few more showers north and west? Trinidad, you're going to have the best chance. You're just geographically closer to where the moisture is going to be. We're going to continue to see the brisk winds across the ABC Islands the next couple of days, but I don't expect it to spell a lot in the way of a lot of rainfall here over the next few days for us. Okay, let's take a look at the significant wave heights. Again, fresher winds through the Caribbean, ABC Islands, 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts through the rest of the week. Some of that strong wind will kick to the southern shoreline of Jamaica, southwest Caribbean. Another cold front coming off of the United States East Coast will freshen up the winds for Bermuda, and that's going to kick up the rip current risk along the exposed Atlantic side of the Bahamas as well. The easterlies, brisk, not overtly strong in the eastern Caribbean, but you'll feel them, especially if you're a boater, going to be out there in the exposed waters. So rainfall totals over the next 5 days. This front has stalled. It's weakening. Not a lot more rain associated with that. Another cold front coming off of the United States East Coast will spell better rain chances for our northern areas early next week, and I'll be covering that as we move through the next week of videos for us here. Otherwise, again, it'll be our southern zones, especially southern sides of Central America, and then back down towards the southern Lesser Antilles for slightly higher rainfall totals, but nothing extremely significant over the next couple of afternoons in most spots. Most areas are likely to have rain totals less than a half inch through the weekend. A few spots will be more in that 25 to 50 millimeter range, but I don't expect it to be a lot of locations. So again, wrapping it up for this Tuesday. Thunderstorms across the central and southeast Bahamas, moving into Turks and Caicos. A few scattered showers with some locally heavy rainfall for Puerto Rico. Hot and humid conditions out towards our west, but overall winds freshening. And so what that means is a better opportunity for some brisk marine conditions through mid and late in the week. Friends, I appreciate you guys. Again, thanks for taking a quick second, hitting that like button for me. If you have a question about the forecast, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. I hope you like our information hub. Again, it's designed to get you that information where I just don't have to go over it, island by island. It's right there for you guys, and we can get more into those details and make these videos quicker. That's the whole point of this. Friends, have a great rest of your day. I'm back tomorrow with your latest forecast.